Well, Iran's Atomic Energy Organization is capable of resuming 20% uranium enrichment within 4 days at the Fordo facility if it's instructed by senior officials to do so. Now, that's according to Ali Akbar Salehi, the head of the Atomic Energy Organization. Salehi said this capability sends a message to the other parties to the Iran nuclear deal. He also warned the EU against violating the accord. He said it would be a disgrace for the bloc if it followed in the footsteps of the U.S. Salehi referred to the possible U.S. withdrawal from the JCPOA and said this has proved that Washington is not trustworthy. Salehi noted that Iran has fully abided by the nuclear agreement, while the U.S. has reneged on its commitments under the deal. Joining us right here from Tehran, Professor Fouad Izzadi from the University of Tehran. Thank you so much for being with us. Well, tell me your take on what Mr. Salehi has said today, that within 4 days, that's all it takes for Iran to reach 20% uranium enrichment capability again.
Yes, as you know, Iran was enriching uranium at 20% level before the nuclear agreement. So Iran knows the know-how and has the scientific capability to resume that. And the Fordo facility has been maintained. They are not engaging in enrichment at Fordo because of the nuclear agreement. But when and if U.S. gets out of the agreement, Iran will get out of the agreement, and it's going to be very easy for Iran to resume 20% enrichment. In fact, we have some people in Iran that are asking for 40%, 60%, 80% enrichment, since NPT does not put any limitations. The Non-Proliferation Treaty does not put any limitations on the percentage of enrichment that a country can have. And this is going to be a response to U.S. getting out of the agreement. I think what Dr. Salehi said today is a decision of the country, not just himself. Normally, these things are worked out at the National Security Council. And given the fact that the date of May 12th is coming up, the day that President Trump is supposed to decide whether he wants to stay in the nuclear agreement or not, I think Dr. Salehi and the country as a whole is sending a signal that if U.S. gets out, Iran will get out, as Mr. Arafchi, the head negotiator of the nuclear talks, talked about a few weeks ago. If U.S. gets out, Iran will get out of the nuclear agreement. Iran will resume its peaceful nuclear activities, and enriching 20% and more is going to be part of that peaceful nuclear activity that Iran will engage in. What Dr. Salehi is doing is sending a signal, and the country is sending a signal that Iran is serious about getting out of the agreement if U.S. does, and Iran is basically preparing to do so very quickly, and this is the message that he had today.
All right, well, thank you so much for being with us out of Tehran. Fouad Izzadi, professor from University of Tehran.